Good afternoon, ladybugs and yellow jackets. Welcome to this week's episode of Handmade Home Shopping here on Fae Productions. Yay, happy to be back with you. It's very rainy outside where we are today, but I'm glad to be here. Of course, getting started here at the beginning of our show. First things first, please, if you will, like and subscribe. And if you will, I had Fireball the button. I forgot to pick something new for today. So, but yes, please like, subscribe, fireball the button if you would like to, the bell if you would like to get notifications of our future shows. We do 3 of them a week and you don't want to miss out on them. So those are good times. And then also I want to give a shout out to this week's sponsor, which is Baltimore Faerie Fair. And the Baltimore Faerie Fair celebrates the wonders of the natural world and all the beings that inhabit it, real and imaginary. We seek to heal, inspire, nurture, entertain, and serve the Baltimore community by creating wonder in an urban fairy festival. They strive to find balance between the concrete and the dirt, the practical and the fantastic. They promote creativity in costuming, crafts, music, and they recently actually just had a costume contest, dance, art, attitude, and more. The Baltimore Faerie Fair is a welcoming space for young and old, dreamers, doers, artists, patrons of the arts, everybody. They are April 9th through the 11th, 2021. So they are coming up here in just a couple of weekends. I think, looking at my calendar here, yes, that is in 2 weekends that they are coming up. It is all online this year for 2021, even though it's normally outside. They are going to be doing Gather Town. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the platform of Gather Town, but it's sort of a little virtual Legend of Zelda festival Ren Fair layout. It's kind of cool. You walk around with a little avatar and you can go into shops. So they are going to be doing that. Please check them out, and you can go to their Facebook page or to their website. Both of those are in the ticker, and they are also in the low bar as well, so you can find them before, during, and after the show. You don't have to navigate away right now. Hey, how you doing out there, Joshua? Good to see you this afternoon. And with that said, then, I am happy to welcome today's first vendor, which is Ramsheadcraftworks. Do I see that? I had you on mute for a second because I could hear that wheel, but now it's your time. So hearing the wheel is good.
How's it going?
It is going all right. I don't see your lovely other half. Where did she go? There she is.
Yeah,
there you go. I will give you guys the whole screen. If you will, introduce yourselves to us. Tell us who you are and where you're from and what you do.
I'm Tori, and this is Mike, and we're from Dearborn, Michigan. Our home fair is the Michigan Renaissance Festival.
A big one. And so you guys are you make pottery.
Yep, we do pottery of all types. Our biggest claim to fame would be our ring flasks.
Oh.
Where we make holders so you can hold them on your belt nice.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And we do a few different designs of those. Like this is our glass inlay one. They look great in the sunlight.
I can see it. Like when you wiggle it real slow, we can see the light kind of flash off of it.
We also do carved flasks.
Does that one have a dragon wrapped around it?
Yes, it does. He goes all the way around.
Oh, look at that guy. Okay, I have a question. How do you clean that thing out?
Warm water. Just never empty it.
Warm water, just never empty it. I mean, that is a good rule of... Yes, that is a very good rule of thumb for all the flasks. Never let them run dry.
And then our other well-known be our bottoms up mugs. So they're just standard mugs, and then we carve things on the bottoms.
Oh, that's cool. Can you tell me? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do all types of things. We do knots, some trees.
Oh, Yggdrasil, I like it. Now, how much liquid do those round ones hold approximately? Do you know?
Our smaller ones hold anywhere between 6 to 8 ounces, and our larger ones hold anywhere from about 10 to 14 ounces.
So a grande cup of coffee, a little more than a grande. And what about the mugs?
The mugs, we've got mugs as small as probably 8 ounces and then all the way up to, I want to say 65 ounces.
Holy smokes. That's not a mug, that's a tankard.
I'm working on getting up to a full 6-pack.
Like that is deceptive in the actual drinking of the liquids when it's just all in one big place, right? Because your mind thinks of it as one. So what are we working on here in the background today?
What I'm working on right now are stems for goblets.
Yeah, so when he's done, that goblet will look something like this one's.
Oh, that's pretty.
So he'll carve the bottoms, and then he will throw a separate piece to make the tops, and then he'll attach them.
How do you get them to attach when they're made in separate pieces like that? I don't know very much about the inner workings of pottery, so pardon my rudimentary questions.
You put 2 pieces of clay together. You use what's called slip, which is kind of this messy, muddy clay that's all over my hands. And you scratch up the surface where you're making the join, and add the slip to it, and it kind of makes all the pieces right about the exact same consistency. And so when they dry together as one solid piece.
That makes perfect sense, which I suppose makes sense for anything that is a fine craft, right? Why would people do nonsensical things? So what else do you have there? Let's see some more of your amazing work.
One of the other things I brought down these tumblers that we make.
Ooh, I like that.
And they've got, you'll see on the bottom, they've got like these little scallop where Mike printed. And then, so we actually got these as a design. We went to Gotland Island in Sweden, and this design was all over in all of the Viking museums and all over this giant Viking festival we went to.
So it's kind of a reinvented, or what's the word I'm looking for? you have
Yeah, and then this one's special because all that brown pitting on it isn't actually glaze. It's actually where the salt hits it and vaporizes in the kiln.
Salt for what?
The salt is a special type of firing that I do on some of my pieces, where once the kiln gets up to the right temperature, we pour several boxes of salt into the kiln, and it vaporizes, and everything in the kiln gets a fire of the salt as a glaze, and it's solid, and it won't dissolve ever again, and it's the same as any other glaze, but it creates a unique design pattern that you can't get through any other firing process.
Yeah, definitely. And so these things then, are they dishwasher safe? These things, like I don't know what they are or something.
There's only very few select items that are not microwave and dishwasher safe, and pretty much I think our pins and our magnets are not microwave and dishwasher safe.
But these ones are.
All of our bowls, flasks, cups, tumblers, goblets, it's all microwave and dishwasher safe.
Anything you could eat or drink out of, I make sure that it's safe to eat, drink, and use like anybody would use any eating or drinking vessel.
How does if I may, how does that do in the microwave? Does it get hot like ceramic does?
Well, it is ceramic, so it's pretty much exactly the same as anything you would find, factory made. This is you might find on most mugs that you would buy, and it's really, so long as you don't go really fast from hot to cold or cold to hot, it will work great.
Nice. I really like that little short one because I'm always afraid of things tipping and spilling over, and so that one looks like it has a nice, good round base, and then it's, and it's stout, so less for cats to knock.
We actually, I don't think we've ever had a cat knock one of these or our mugs, because we try to make them a little bit wider at the bottom because we have destructive pets.
Yes, I completely understand the destructive pet business. So do you have any of the bowls that you were referencing there with you?
Yeah, let me go grab one.
And so right now, this is just a new chunk of clay that you have here, and you're just making it warm to work with, or what is this?
The process that I'm going through right now is called centering. I'm making it so that all the clay is moving perfectly in the center, and it just makes it so that as I start to manipulate it, nothing goes out of whack.
How do you know when you have your clay perfectly symmetrical and not lopsided? I imagine that. Do you
Honestly,
just eyeball it?
it's mostly through touch. In fact, I usually, a lot of times when I'm doing demonstrations, I'll put on a blindfold and I can do the whole process without even seeing what I'm doing.
Wow. That
So
is impressive.
It's really just you learn how the clay feels, and you're talking to the clay with your hands, and the clay is talking back to you.
And so how did you guys get into this as your business and doing this particular thing?
Well, I took some ceramic classes in high school, and then continued with them in college. And it was really in college I fell in love with clay, and you once you start working with it, it gets in your blood, and you just not work with it. It's also like the most relaxing thing ever.
That I can imagine to be true.
And this is actually kind of a side job for me. My day job is as a teacher, and I teach ceramics and other arts at high school. And it's just you start working with it, and you can't not work with it. It doesn't compute in the head to not have clay as part of your life.
Yes. The first lump of clay is free.
Yes, absolutely. It is very much an addiction.
I love this. I'm just going to share really quick onto the screen. I'm peeking here at your Etsy store, and I'm looking at these colors now. If somebody wanted something made in colors of their own, like this is just beautiful. It's like a perfect Earth Day mug, right? It's sky above and earth below. I love this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I actually grabbed one of our bowls that has almost a similar glaze. This one's just darker on the bottom. It's still a green glaze on the bottom, though.
And if somebody wanted something that was maybe in their house colors or something significant to them, are you guys able to do that?
We take limited commissions depending on what it is, and our lead time is normally about 2 to 4 months. We can pretty much work as long as it's a glaze that we already do. Mm-hmm. Because Mike actually mixes all of our glazes by hand. We don't have we've got a couple store-bought glazes, but not a lot.
And what does that process look like? Tell me about that a little bit.
So mixing the glazes, it's sort of similar to prepping baking materials. It's a lot of mixing powders. You measure everything out by weight, and then you add water to it. Then you run it through a sieve several times to get
what
it.
Is a glaze?
My sieve. So glaze is basically like a glass that you put on the surface, and it's made of a few different materials. You've got a clay body, which helps it to adhere to the clay. You've got a flux, which allows it all to melt at the right temperature, and that's kind of the key to getting it to work just right, is getting it to melt at exactly when and where you want it to melt. You've got a glass, so silica or sand, which gives it the shine, and then finally various metals to add color. And depending on what you have and in what quantity, you can get wildly different reactions out of the clay.
That is very fascinating. I don't suppose I have known plenty of people that do throw clay, but I've never really asked about like what even is glaze before. It never even occurred to me.
It's a really interesting material to work with, because it's working with it is almost alchemy, because there's so many different factors that go into it: the recipe, the temperatures that you're firing out, how fast you're firing, what type of kiln you're using. I My work goes into one of three different types of kilns. Sorry, one of four different types of kilns.
There are
And
many
I can take the
kilns.
same glaze and put it into each different kiln and have completely different effects depending on which kiln it goes into.
So now I know you went to go get a bowl, and so we are coming up on the time a little bit here. I'd like to see the bowl, and then also, since Michigan is your home fair, is Michigan happening this year? What's the news on that? Can you tell us? I like it.
And
It's so big. I love it.
as far as we know, we hope Michigan goes this year. But anything otherwise?
When are its normal dates?
It's normally, I think it's the last 2 weekends in August and then all of September.
Perfect. That's a long fair. That's
Yeah,
6
we're
weeks.
a 7-week fair. So
7
last
weeks.
3 weekends in August.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, you guys, today. Now, I have you down for doing the magic word. Yep. Okay. So, what that means for everybody, this week's magic word is gnome stool. It's like toadstool, but it's actually a cross between two different things, because we were having an argument whether or not it should be gnome hat or toadstool. So we compromised on our Wednesday show, is where we always decide the word of. And so for you all watching at home, what that means is if you order here within the next week and you use the magic word gnome stool, you will get some manner of, is it a discount or is it a gift that you're doing?
If they put it in our comments, we'll include a free gift.
A free gift. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And I don't want to have you cut off, but so I will say goodbye like this, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so we are moving right along here. That was a great start. Oh, the clay. I want to touch it. I see you down there, CheetahFaerieArts. You are our next visitor here. I'm going to swap like this. There we go. Oh, look at it. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
You're magical today. I love your shirt. I have to ask, where did you get that top? That top is awesome.
It's a dress, and it was like in a thrift store for like $10 or something. And it's like, I'm going to stand up and like, woo, you know?
Yeah, it's completely Stevie Nicks on us. I love it. And look, your wings and everything. And of course, it's a thrift store find. So, there will never be finding another one like it. Like, I got this at a thrift store and there are no others like it. Well, please, if you will, introduce yourself to everybody. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Eva. I use she, her pronouns, and I make hand-painted fairy wings. They're all wearable, so like this one's got a little clip-on attachment.
That whole thing hangs on with that tiny little clip. What are they made of?
Yeah, they're made of like wires and nylon, like glue and acrylic. I just paint them. They're really like
super lightweight. Nice.
You forget that you're wearing them even, which is kind of fun. Like my favorite are the ones like this one's like a relaxed design.
It looks like what are those flowers? The ones that
the crocus flowers?
Yes, that's exactly it. Crocus.
Yeah, they're I did a spring flower series. So these are kind of like discreet, hang on, and then you've got the less discreet of the like big daffodils. They're kind of
Yes, and those ones also hang on with that tiny little clip.
This one is a pin on, and yeah, they just hang on.
And they're not, because they're so lightweight. That is cool. Well, your painting job on these is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've seen a lot of but yours are so detailed. I mean, I literally recognized the flower that you just showed me, 2 of them. So that's, yeah, no, by all means. I see you have so many back there, and I'm like, please show me some more, because I know so many fairies who would like to see all of the wings.
I've got a variety. So let's see. I can do like owl wings.
Ooh, I've never seen owl wings before. That's awesome.
I can do, these ones are like mermaidy.
Yes, they are.
These ones are, I did some cyberpunk ones. These are a recent ones. So they've got little
those are cool.
fun. And then I like the center is kind of
gears and whatnot. Now, how do these, I know it's a strange question, but how do these hold up in water if you happen to live someplace where it could rain spontaneously?
Well, I live in Oregon, so 100% relate. And I've been wearing my first pair just like out, like crash and tumble, like roll around outside, you know, for years, and they look the same. I did take, let's see, we had an ice storm in February, and so me and my partner both like wore wings outside, and it was raining ice, and so they all ended up with like this 1/4 inch of ice or on all sides of them, and they melted up totally fine, like no damage.
Some like cool photographs.
They're fun, and then like I feel like they're pretty good too. Like I mean, if I'm in my studio, I'm just like stepping on them and kicking them around, and like they're not really like they're kind of meant to be durable because I'm kind of a crash and tumble person myself. So like I don't like fragile stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to be able to bump into a tree now and again, right?
Yeah.
I imagine you flying through the forest like Batty, just like whoop.
And that's the fun thing too about the relaxed wings is that like it's a little bit less chance of the like, oh sorry, like, you know, that when you're wearing your fairy wings and just bumping into everyone. So like I'm enjoying.
Well, that was one of the things I thought when I saw those crocus ones. I thought, oh, those hang down and they look so nice, almost in a sort of Mary Cicely Barker. Did I get that? Cicely Mary Barker? I can never remember which way her name goes. Oh, she's a fairy, like a fairy artist from the early 1900s.
The one who does all the the like vintage
tree and flower fairies, and a lot of hers have the wings hanging down like that, which is so good for indoors. If you're at a convention or someplace where you cannot be wings out fully, you know, wings unfurled. So, and I thought they just looked quite beautiful the way, because that flower naturally drapes. I don't know, I really liked them. They're pretty. So if somebody wanted a pair of wings made, what would that process look like if you do it?
So I have an Etsy page, and I do a variety. I tend to have more options for like custom. So like anything you want, any kind of fairy, they fit, you know, like pretty much any clothing or pretty much, you know, like any body type, like just whatever style, let me know and I want to try to make it. And then I also have some options of wings that are like already made and ready to sell. Like a lot of the ones you just showed me haven't been listed yet. But yeah, that one. Yeah. So some of them are up there. I have some options for kids as well, baby wings as well.
Look at these tiny little things. Aw, bat wings. Oh, spider web wings.
But they're batty, spider webby, Halloween wings, you know.
I like it.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wanted their own, like they wanted to pick, let's say I wanted an iris, for example, could you do something like that?
Like an iris, like these iris?
Oh my goodness, let me begin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, like those. They're so beautiful.
Thank you. So for that, you would just pick like, probably for an iris, I would recommend a 4-wing style. And so you could either do relaxed or upright, depending on, you know, how much you want them relaxed or upright. And then I have 3 different attachment styles. So you can do clip on, pin on, or elastic band. And the elastic band, I'll see if I have an example I don't know if I do, but the elastic band I like to put around like my torso and then have hanging out the back of the clothes. So that's better for a lower back clothing option, but
Oh,
that has kind of
interesting.
that like real fairy feeling because it feels like the wings are, you know, coming out of your back and they move with you when you move and stuff, and that's kind of fun.
Yes.
That's my favorite, but you know, the pin-on is great for like jackets, and like clip-on is great for if you're just like, you know, taking them off, getting in cars, like stuff like that is kind of fun.
Yes, actually, how do these do if you have to drive with them and you had to lean back or you were sitting in a chair? What would they be durable enough to do that? Or because you said you did say you made the rough and tumble, so I'm like, oh well, if you didn't have another person with you and you had to do it and then get in and go and stay, you know, geared up, is that a thing that they can handle somebody leaning back on them while they're driving the Land Dragon?
I think so. I mean, like they do have a little bit of internal wiring where they might get like slightly bent, but I mean, in my experience, I can just kind of lightly bend them back and they're not like, but you know, they don't tend to get too bent when I'm leaning on them, or if I've realized that I'm like standing on one or something, like they seem to be fine. Like, so I do think,
When you're accidentally standing on your wing, you know, it's just down there with the hem of your dress.
it's like, I mean, you know, you see they've got the pile there, and then like my floor is just, you know, the sea of art supplies. So it's just like,
Okay,
you know.
and yes. As you do, right? There was one more question that I had. Yeah, how does one clean these? How do you just spray them with water, or
I've
have
never
you
had
ever
to clean
cleaned them?
them,
Oh,
but I would assume that you could probably just like scrub it with a, you know, like maybe a cotton ball and like water, probably. Like I don't really know. I've never thought of that.
jump in a fountain like a bird in a bath.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, like they can get wet and be okay later. So like I assume if, you know, like it wouldn't be
They could
too,
be durable
it's
for a
probably
little bit of, you
okay.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Well,
hope so anyway.
that is excellent. So, are you doing the magic word today? I think I have you down for it. Do I have you down for it? I do. Okay, and so the magic word, I should actually just type it here in the chat for everybody that's out there, just so people know. Even though it is in the low bar, you guys, if you're looking for the magic word, but it's gnome stool, like a little gnome stool that they would sit on. So I have put that now in the chat. And are you doing a coupon? Are you doing a free surprise gift? Is it a gift that you want to share?
I was gonna do a gift card for a custom pair of wings. So
Oh, wow. Okay then. So there was what was I gonna say? I got distracted. I was like, oh wow, wings. That is most excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, are there any last things you would like to show us before we let you part today? One last awesome
I'll show
pair.
you the pizza wings I make because I can do pretty much any style of wings. So
What did you just say?
pizza wings.
That's what I heard. I'm like, did she just say what I think she said? You made pizza? What does that even mean exactly? Are they wings that look like a piece of pizza? Oh my god, they are?
Yeah.
I want to know what inspired the pizza wings. That is hilarity.
So in the if you order custom wings, you can let me know like if you want like a mystery option, and I'll just surprise you with a pair of wings. And I like for some reason one day, you know, it popped into my head. I was like, what if they just got like pizza wings? You know, that'd be the last thing.
I'm just trying to imagine because I feel like that is such a unique wing, like pizza wings. Like that's not a regular thing. And it's so unique that it's almost like when you get that one awesome pair of shoes that now the whole outfit has to go around it, right? I don't know what I was going to use it for, but I had to get those shoes, and therefore, and now somebody is going to get pizza wings, and then they are going to have to conceptualize the whole like pizza pie fairy. Maybe that's just what they should be. They should be the pie fairy, and their outfit should represent all different types of pie, and their wings are the pizza pie. I don't know. My brain has gone off. Those wings were awesome. All right. Well, yes, you are most welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, everybody. Her information is in the ticker. It is also in the low bar, along with everyone else's. Please go check out her stuff. Give her some follows on Instagram. And with that said, we will let you have a rest of your good Sunday evening, I hope. It's raining up here, so we're Seattle. We're not that far apart.
I'm in Portland. So.
Yeah, it's blustery and blech today. So spring.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, cruising right along. Now, I see you down there, Faery Grove. Hi.
Hello.
Yes, perfect. I can hear you. I saw you kind of bopping in and out there. Are you having trouble with a connection, or were you just going in and out?
Well, I was having trouble, but I connected to the Wi-Fi, so I think it's better now.
Okay.
I kind of moved where it was closer, and I was trying to use my phone, and my phone gets bad service, so hopefully the Wi-Fi sticks. It looks like it's got good service. So
I wanted to ask just so that I know that if something happens to you, that you are coming back. Like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's perfect, because that has happened plenty of times on the show. So, well, please, if you will, introduce yourself to us and tell us who you are and where you're from, what you make. I must also compliment you on your one flower crown to another, right?
Thank you. Yeah, teamwork, right? But yeah, so my name is Brittany, and I am the owner and creator of Faery Grove. Right now, I do like pretty much exclusively candles. I hope to eventually branch out and have like a storefront and everything, which is why the candle part isn't in the name. But yeah, so for now, I do candles and I do wax melts. And I am based out of Palmer Lake, Colorado.
Oh, nice. I have friends in Colorado. I actually really want to get out to the Colorado Ren Fair at some point, because I feel like it's actually maybe driving distance, a little trailer trip or whatever. So yes, I see you've got all this stuff behind you, and why don't we trade spaces here a little bit, and let's see what you have going on over there today.
So this is where I keep all of the things that I've been working on. I sell molded candles, and then I also sell 10 candles. And I have some, I don't have a tripod, so I have to do like this the old-fashioned way. But I have
in front of your face. Yeah, there you go.
I have this guy is really popular. These are mystic cats with third eye open. And these I sell a lot of these. These are super popular. And then I also have green men. And these are fun because you don't have to actually like light them. You can just put like a tea light on top and just use it as a display.
Yes, or even if you did burn it down a little bit, then you could stick a votive cup in there, and then the whole guy would be sort of backlit, illuminated. I like that green man.
Yeah. And then I also make little 10 container candles with crystals in them. There we go.
Yes, travel candles.
Yeah, little small guys. And then I also make wax melt. This is a fun one. It's Fruit Loops, and the Fruit Loops are actually made out of wax. It looks like actual cereal, but it's wax, so it's completely safe to burn in your wax melter.
Yes. Does it actually smell like Fruit Loops?
It does. It smells exactly like the cereal. I have a crunch berry one too, but it smells just like the cereal. Like, people, I'm making it, and they're like, "Are you eating a bowl of cereal right now?" No, it's a candle or a wax melt.
I think you may have just sold me on some Crunchberry wax melts. I have tons of wax melts. That's what I put all throughout the house, because then once they're done melting, I actually save that wax, and then I use it to make fire starters for when we go to Faire every year. So I use the toilet paper rolls and my extra wax melt wax. So,
awesome. Yeah, it works really good. It does. I've used it too.
I am the person that wants the only Crunchberry cereal, even though I'm not supposed to eat it. If I have to eat Captain Crunch, I want just the Crunchberries. So now I'm like, what? You make a Crunchberry wax melt? Yummy.
They actually sell Crunchberry cereal. Sometimes I don't know if they still have it, but it's Oops All Berries, where you can buy just the berries without the little yellow pieces.
That sounds delicious and amazing, and like way too much sugar that I should never have. I mean, I should have all the sugar.
So that's why it's good to have the candles, because you can still get the smell of it without,
Exactly. I can let the leprechaun and the troll eat the crunch berries, and I'll just enjoy the aroma. So sorry, I got sidetracked there for a minute. Went off on a fairy side path.
So yeah, and then some of the other things I have, I do like little flower peonies.
Does that thing float?
It theoretically could. These are a little heavier because they're bigger. I do have smaller ones. That are smaller. This is more lightweight. These ones would.
I have been led to understand that the secret to floating candles is that they must be wider, they must have a greater width than they do height, because all wax floats. That is what I've been told. It's just a matter of what it's shaped like.
Yeah, I think also it kind of depends on the kind of wax. Like if it's like a soy wax or something, soy wax is heavy and it's like oily kind of. And so I don't think you could probably do soy wax with those, but I use a soy blend, and so it's a lot lighter than just plain soy for the molded candles. The container candles and the wax melts, though, are 100% soy wax.
And then what do you use for wicks, if I may?
So I use they're pure cotton wicks for everything I use. Everything's just pure cotton. It doesn't have like a zinc core or anything like that. It's just braided cotton.
So there's no nasty things that are getting into the air.
Yeah, no, they're a lot nicer than some of the zinc core ones because they don't smoke as much and they don't soot and they don't have like the, you know, on the sides of the candle you get like those black marks. My candles don't do that. So
how long do those tin ones burn for? What's their
so these are 6 ounces, and when you first light the candle, you want to do it for at least 4 hours for the very first time, because you want to get like a full melt pool, which means like you want the wax to be completely melted all the way to the sides. And if you do that, if you let it go, you know, for the first 4 hours, then it has a lifetime between 45 and 50 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah, and if
for
you
a little
don't let it
6 ounce candle, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times people they don't realize that you really have to have that first burn has to be a long time. Otherwise you get tunneling where it just burns straight down the middle and then your candle doesn't last as long.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
At least to me, because I know what tunneling is. That's for certain. So I'm familiar with that experience.
Yeah. So
now, what is going on with this skull thing behind you on the shelf? I kind of want to see some of these skulls. Are those candles too?
They are. I have these guys, and these are big candles. They're actually a pound of wax.
Holy smokes!
And this is just called Skull of Skulls because it's, you know, basically a skull made out of skulls.
How do you even get it to come out of a mold looking so detailed and perfect?
There's definitely tricks and there's definitely patience. Like one thing when I first started doing the candle making that a lot of people don't realize is there's so much patience and there's so much math and science involved, and you wouldn't really think so, but there's like specific, you know, time periods of things to do things, and like I said, a lot of like math equations and things, but a lot of with these things just patience, and like, you know, a lot of times people really want to see what they look like so they unmold them before they're ready. And with these, you just really have to like wait until they're ready, and then you get like the best effects doing it that way.
Nice.
And I have these guys too.
Oh, those guys are cute. Here, see and speak no evil skulls.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun too. And I also have these ones are really popular.
They're kind of Day of the Dead almost.
Yeah.
That's what that makes me think of anyway, with the flowers on them like that.
Yeah, definitely. And then I also have some like little prince or princess, depending on how you want to look at it. They have little crowns.
King of the Dead.
Yeah. And it's surprising. Like I actually sell these all year. You know, when I first got into it, I thought maybe the skulls would be more popular, you know, for Halloween, but I actually sell them all year long. People love them just for the Gothic decor or, you know, just decorations in their house all the time.
I can imagine. I know more than 1 or 2 skull lovers. So
they're popular.
All right, I'm over here. So give me just a second. Go ahead. You can show some more things. I was going to pull your Etsy store up really quick, but I'm more than happy to look at what you have on that shelf.
I also have sea themed. These are whales.
It's a mermaid. It's
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
And I wanted to mention too, I have my email, I think maybe listed, or you can message me on Etsy. I do take like some orders. So if like somebody wants to have like a color of something that they really like or a certain scent, I do custom orders of, whatever scent and colors they like if they message me.
Nice. Okay, I think, let's see. Here we go. This is you, right? Yay. I like all these crystal ones that you've got going on here. And just these are all your cool tin candles.
Yeah.
Coconut lime verbena sounds delicious.
Oh, it's so summery. It's like the perfect summer scent. It's great.
Wizard's Brew butterscotch. What? Oh my gosh, look at these are so beautiful too, and I like all of their pretty little fairy crystals that they have on them. So, and I assume that those just kind of, they're not meant to be taken out till you're done, like they just kind of burn down, right?
It depends on the candle. Some of them have smaller crystals that you could just leave until it burns down. Other ones have bigger chunks that I would probably like just pick off the top, just because it'll be heavy when it drops down, and it might like make the wick move a little bit. But they're really easy just to pick off the top of it. And I did want to mention too that all the glitter that I use in all of my candles is biodegradable. So that's a big important thing to me. Is sustainability. My labels are recycled paper labels. My glitter is biodegradable, so it's earth friendly. And I just wanted to throw that out there, just because it's an important thing to me when I started doing this. Is I didn't want to have the craft glitter that gets stuck in the environment forever. Once somebody's done with their candle.
Can I ask a question? Looking at these cool, these green man guys, how did you get them to be brown and green like that on just the leafy part? Or is that a trade secret?
It's kind of a trade secret. I hand paint everything. Everything that I do, like I use molds for a lot of things, but I hand paint everything.
Holy smokes. And this unicorn one, are these little unicorn guys in here, are these wax or are they?
They are.
So they'll melt down and become part of the thing.
Yeah, and I have Fruit Loops and Crunch Berries, ones that are like that too, where it looks like cereal, but it's actually made out of wax, and so it's completely safe to burn, leaving the candle. And
the hot chocolate one with the little marshmallows. The marshmallows are
they're wax.
They're so cute. Yeah. That is great. Ooh, look at this. Is this the Fruit Loops of this? And this is what it looks like when it gets all melty. Is this rainbow?
Yeah,
that's fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
I'm just like cruising through, looking at all your fragrances, wanting to smell them all. I am a very green fairy, a little bit of absinthe happening right there. I'm a very scent-oriented person. That rhymed.
Oh, I understand. I do craft fairs, and I have like expos and things. I actually just got back from a craft fair earlier today. That if anybody's in Colorado, I have listed on my Facebook page all the events that I have for the summer. So if you're local to Colorado, you can actually come and like see and smell my candles in person, and it's a lot nicer than trying to get a smell through a screen. It's so hard.
Yes, unless you are really familiar with how fragrances are already, that is definitely coming and smelling in person. This is that cool skull one, man. It looks awesome. Why always Etsy opening in a new screen? Well, is there anything that you would like to show us before we let you go this afternoon?
I think. I don't know if I showed little foxes. Maybe I showed the foxes. I'm not sure. But I have little foxes too.
And look at their little like ear tips, and they're all red.
They have little tails.
Yeah. Now, so you know how you were saying when you burn the candle, man, I don't even know if I could burn something like that. It's so cute. When you burn the candle to let it go all the way to the edge, but how do you do that same process with a sculpted candle where there is, the edge is in that guy's head? If you look at the top of the fox head, right, there's only like that much space, but obviously how does that work?
So it does pool a little bit. The shaped candles don't have as long of a burn time as the container ones. I do want to mention that. Some of the bigger ones last longer, but I do have like these little flowers. they probably last maybe like an hour before, you know, burning all the way. So I say a lot of them are more for decor pieces. They have a wick and you can light them like a candle, but they're more for like display. Whereas like the container ones, you know, that's meant for like a scent experience and all that. But you can totally light the foxes and all that. And so what happens is you get like a little bit of melt pool up in here, and like I would let it go just like a little bit down, and I wouldn't burn these any more than probably like a half an hour at a time, and then I would blow it out and let the wax re-solidify, and then light it again, and you'll get more of a candle life than if you try to continually burn it all the way through, just because it burns hotter than the normal like soy wax candles do.
And then it allows it to, that sets its perimeter when you do that.
Yeah.
Let it go to wherever, blow it out, let it cool. And then from then on, that's kind of where it goes to, right?
Exactly.
Candle training, candle training 101.
And the other thing too I want to mention with the sculpted ones is you definitely want to burn them on a heat resistant surface with some kind of bowl, because the wax does drip and it pools, and it's really hard to get off of things. Whereas like the container wax is very easy, the soy wax is easy to clean up. The shaped candles, once it gets on there, you really have to scrape it. And so it's just better to use like a bowl or something to catch all that wax in, so you don't ruin your furniture.
Yeah, no, I could imagine you would not want wax in your fabric.
So on the table, and I mean it gets messy, but yeah, definitely some kind of heat safe bowl to do your burning, and you know, every time you want to burn something like that.
I really like those little tin ones, especially because whenever I go to Faire Festival, I always have a candle in my trailer.
Yeah.
You know, you light the little candle. Whoa! That was a weird hiccup in my connection. Your face just went like.
I wasn't sure if it was mine.
I don't know if anybody else saw that, but on my end, you were just like, I thought, oh my gosh, we're talking about candles here, not mushrooms. All right, well, I am going to let you go then this afternoon, and I didn't have you down for the magic word, so is that correct? That's
yeah, I mean, we can throw something in there. If you use the word fairy at my Etsy store, you can get 10% off, and I also offer free shipping over $35. So if you spend $35 or more, then it's free shipping.
Okay, cool. It's FAERY is your coupon code?
Yes.
Okay, 10% off, and it's FAERY. Oops, do I not have a number lock going on here? Here we go. I'm just trying to put it in the comments for everybody. Me and my speed typing. It sounds like bullets, I'm sure. Let's see, FAERY. Okay, there. And all right then, with that said, I will bid you good afternoon and adieu, and an enjoyable rest of your Sunday.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. Have a magical day, guys. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for coming on the show. All right, we have one last vendor today. I see you down there. Hello, Lady Eddie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. You waited so patiently the whole show. I saw you down there watching.
Oh, that's okay. I was writing down everybody's stuff, so I will go shopping after this.
I completely identify with that. So I will use that also as an opportunity to remind everybody that the information is also in the low bar, and it will not go away. So even after the show, it will remain up on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well, so people can go and check it out. Now, if you will, please introduce yourself, your business, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay, well, I'm known pretty much everywhere as Lady Eddie. My real name is Michelle. I also do okay, all the stuff in the bar and below is not me, but that's
no,
okay.
it isn't. I'm changing it right now. It's the vendor that was right before you.
I actually do historical reenactment, so but my stuff kind of crosses over to Burning Man and goth and gamers and folk metal music, that kind of stuff. So, but I also have fairy collections. I've been at Fairy World before, which was amazing, and I do a lot of local craft fair kind of things, holiday fair, but mainly, again, I do a lot of historical reenactments. So that's why I'm dressed like a Viking.
Yes, well, we have plenty of Viking lovers out there in our audience, so we're not just all fairy here.
Well, I'm kind of like a little bit of everything. So on my website, you'll see there's the fairy collection. It's starting to get built up. There'll be the steampunk collection because I have a lot of crossover items that can be totally and completely put into that. Some of our biggest, one of our biggest sellers is our drinking horns, which are all hand polished and they are Envirotech inside. So they are completely safe to drink out of. We also have, if I ever remember how to put it on there, we have a little stand. Or if you're going to go out and about drinking, you want to be able to have it on your belt. So we also have it, some of you can have it because obviously you can't just lay this down. Go anywhere.
I was just thinking, you said, it's safe to drink out of, and I thought, I don't know about that. It looks like it holds a lot of liquid. That sounds very dangerous.
This one is one of my longer ones, but it'll hold maybe two beers, two and a half beers.
It's not as bad.
Cool. It's not much. I mean, when you're visiting everybody and stuff.
Yes.
So we also, this is one of my biggest sellers, is my my Viking coats. So this one has the interior of the, I'll just bring her closer.
Yes.
I apologize for the pictures on my website. Apparently, I do not know how to resize anything when I put them on my website. So you get to see these really ridiculous, weird cut off head people. So I'm pretty much the model in all of my pictures. So I have no head. But the detail, so this is all washable. I wanted to stay sustainable. But you know what? When you're going camping, if you are at a reenactment and you have to walk through weeds, you don't want to have to send this to the dry cleaner. That's just not feasible. You want to be able to throw this in the washer and dryer. So this is a faux Sherpa with a faux suede. And they're fantastic, and they'll keep you yummy warm. So you'll see on the website that there is a this kind of seam here is an external seam. So you'll see two different kinds of coats. This one is called my 2.0 because I made all the seams internally. I know. I was just being weird one day. That's all I do is I sit out in my studio and I sew and I create, and then I do a lot of emailing to Scandinavia and finding out, is this something that I could actually get away with and make it period? And they're like, yes or no, or whatever, which is why we have our needle cases. These are antler needle cases.
Oh, that's adorable.
They're fantastic. And they will hold your needles. It's a bored out antler. These antlers were found in forests or at garage sales. These are not anything that we have hurt an animal doing it. But they will hang off of your brooches if you so want to be that Viking girl. It also is really great for the parking lot in case you're walking to your car. It's a good weapon.
Indeed.
We also have salt cellars because, as anybody knows, any kind of Viking history, the salt was was currency. So if you had salt, then you were kind of like the richest person in the group. So these are all, again, antler.
And so this is meant to hold salt and then sprinkle it out like
absolutely
mealtime.
If you had salt, you were like super rich.
Huh.
Different proportions. Can you make any adjustments to the sleeve length? Absolutely.
Oh.
I take custom. I do all kinds of custom stuff. So what I usually do is if it's somebody that's not local to me and I can't get to you, I will send you a measurement chart. Mm-hmm. And just to let you know, if you have your partner measure you, have them be truthful, because I have had husbands be like, oh, I don't want to actually say that her bust is 55. Do you know what I'm saying? And so they're like, oh, she's 42. And then I get to send the coat and she's like, I can't even get this closed. And I'm like, who measured you? So you want to have your measurements be pretty darn truthful.
I'm like, that's a big difference.
It is a big difference, but you have no idea how many husbands and partners of all persuasions just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We also do leather belts. I do my leather belts. I also do pouches. These are amazing pouches. They all go on your belt.
Perfect.
Everything in my world. I mean, I grew up at Faire first. I was a Faire brat. So everything had to be on our belts because why not?
Can you show me those pouches again? What does the clasp look like on those?
The clasps are very unique. I spend a lot of time and a lot of money on trying to make sure that I have these particular clasps because when you are at Faire or any place in public, the last thing, the flip ones, people can get into them pretty easy, and you can knock about. You know, you can hit your pouch on something, and let's face it, sometimes our pouches ended up back here. You're in a crowd, you can't feel who's touching you. You know what I'm saying? This here, I call this my safety lock because you have to twist it, you got to pull it, and by the time somebody's done that, you've already felt them.
Yes, and you also can still do it one-handed, which is always
absolutely. If you've got, you know, your basket, you've got your drinking horn, you know, and you want to be able to buy something, you can just flip. And they come in different sizes. We've got the small ones. I always tell people, if you send me your fist measurement, I will tell you which pouch will fit you because, I mean, we have all kinds of people that, you know, I have tiny hands, so I pretty much can fit in all of the pouches, but I've got guys with, you know, big meat hooks, and they're like, I really want to have this on my belt. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work.
I like that little half-moon one, though. What is this?
These are Hedeby bags. So they are the very first pouch. This is alpaca and linen, hand sewn. This is a ingle-loomed.
Yeah.
But remember, they were back in the 60s. I mean, they made a really big impression for people because once you have this on your shoulder, guess what? You can't get in it.
Yep.
You just can't get in it unless you know, release it. But this is all local to Northern California because that's where I'm at. I'm in Northern California. Let's see, on the Faerie part, we have portion bottles. We have all of our potion bottles. These will hold all of your potions. So this is a cup. This is a half a cup, and this is a cup. And they come in a multitude of colors and stuff. I just didn't feel like it was necessary to have to bring them all out.
I'm sure that we can use our imaginations.
I could have. The last thing I have is in the Faerie collection. This was something that I was really excited about doing, and this is actually a beautiful coat, and it is all wool. It has been washed.
So it has shrunk then.
It has shrunk. It has not felted because how I wash, when you're washing your wools like this, you really don't want to throw them in the wash machine and have them be agitated. You just want to get your cold water, get your little, whatever you're going to use as your detergents. Hopefully you're not getting this super dirty. And then you just lay it in there and you very gently push down so it absorbs. You let it sit for a few minutes. You kind of jostle. Is that a word? Jostle?
It is now.
You move around the bucket that it's in, whatever.
Yes.
And then you just let it hang and drip dry. Do not wring it because once you start agitating it, you're going to start locking that, and then you're going to have a felted coat.
I didn't even know that that's what makes that happen. I've learned something new today.
The agitation makes it happen. So this here is all hand couched. Couching means that there is, this is all done on the machine. Well, the external is not. The external is a basic blanket stitch that goes about.
And then you did kind of embroidery on it.
Right. So this part here is a special foot that's on my sewing machine or anybody's sewing machine. And you lay your yarn in between and it does a zigzag. And so that way I was able to get all of my design work around the sleeves.
I love it. Oh, and they're fluted too. They're like,
yeah, these are the fluted sleeves. Now, this was my first one. And when it fits brilliantly, it really does. I happen to not have long arms. So, so for me, when I'm out and about, I just kind of scrunch. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I mean, you can totally and completely just be your own. And these are custom. So if there's something that you really like, you want hearts or you want, just basic scroll work, whatever it is, all you have to do is get a hold of me. These are not expensive. And when I do a custom job, I do not charge a bunch of money for a custom job. To me, it'd be just like if you couldn't come to the fair and you needed me to make you something, I'll just do it. Not a big deal.
Now, I know that you said that was your last thing, but I have a question if I can. I don't know, but I don't know if it's a thing you do or not, but I was wondering, did you make these, I don't know what you call them, the buckles that are on your dress that have the chain between them that you're wearing right now?
Brooches. My brooches. What is this guy? What did he say, Damien?
Let's see. Oh boy.
Oh. Well, I don't
know. I think that might be a troll with spam. So we'll just
that would be spam.
We'll make that go away.
That's
Goodbye.
hysterical.
Yeah. No, Josh was saying Josh had asked about whether or not you could do custom, and they were saying that he has broad shoulders but a shorter arm length. So that came after.
Totally can do anything that you want that's within my realm. Absolutely. And I do, like I said, I do a lot of custom orders. Half of my business is custom orders. As far as brooches go, I have not gotten into making the brooches. These actually were made by my late husband for me, as part of we got married in a Viking ceremony. So, but yeah.
I like them.
I can, if you email me, I can refer you to somebody who does that I trust that I know the artists themselves. So, but yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I have a ton of stuff on my website, so please feel free to go on my website and ask me any questions. I will give you all the answers I possibly can. And we do have the gnome.
Gnome stool, the magic word.
It's so funny because my friend was like, "What's a gnome's tool?" And I'm like, "It's gnome stool." So then she went that way with it, and I started laughing. And I said, "Okay, well, whatever you want, just say it." You're going to get a combination of things from me. So you will get free shipping. First off.
Ooh, that's good.
I do believe in free shipping, and second, you will get a small goodie bag of goodies. I'm not going to tell you what they are. So
that is perfectly fine.
It could be anything from these fabulously goofy striped socks, because we all love striped socks. To a mug or something like that, a metal mug. So, but yes. And I do thank you so much for letting me be on the show, because I'm kind of like all over the place with my stuff. So yeah.
No, thank you for coming on the show. You have great stuff, and we do definitely have plenty of the Viking fans out there. I mean, it's not as if they didn't have Fae and other types, the Jotun and other such things in their own folklore. So, I guess I always have trouble remembering what their words are for the light and the dark fairies, because they're really long words. But yes, they had light and dark fairies and giants and all. Every culture does. So we definitely have some fans amongst our viewers out there. But with that said, we are at the end of our show. Boy, today's show went by so fast. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you would like to, and hit the bell if you want to get notifications of our future shows. Today's Sunday, so that means our next show will be here on Wednesday. The magic word for this week is gnome stool. All one word. And if you use that with our vendors that are on the show here today, you will get either a discount or some manner of bonus gift with your purchase. You'll know which vendors those are because they will have you'll see the Amanita mushroom that's going there in the ticker. All of our vendors are indicated with that if they are participating in the magic word. And so I think with that said, then everybody just please like, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will hopefully see you on Wednesday. So it's literally the last day of March. So have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye. Oop. I know. I'm like, come on, mouse. Click a button. Do a thing.
Hello friends, this is Gunther Hammerhands. Thank you for checking out Fairy Princess Lolly's channel. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Use your troll hammer to ring that little bell icon to get notifications when she posts future videos. And if you'd like to support these magical creations, fly over to our Patreon and join the Fairy